Wow. You know what? You know what? Guess what? Hold on. You know what? You know who's not here? When I can do the intro the way I want to and play some night driving music. Hello, everyone. Welcome to YouTube. This is my weekly meltdown. I'm your host, Allison. Beth, Atticus, Flasher. We got Nathaniel,
We can't really hear you.
and Matthew Henning. Guys, this is Survivor 42. I forget what episode, but it's the one before the finale.
Episode 12 or something like that.
Episode 12, y'all. I've been out of it a little while. I'm so glad to be back. Let's say hello to everyone out there in the chat land.
Yeah.
Maxwell,
Hello, everybody in the chat. Yeah.
Hello, number one in the chat, Benita Tucker, Stefan Vincent, Lena Maxwell. Ooh, already said that name. Heather Jean, Adrian Celeste, Laruka, Dolores, everybody. Hey, how's it?
Come on into the cool jams, cool strategy talk.
Okay,
just
I'm
low-key vibes here.
Next.
My weekly
Okay.
meltdown.
That's right.
I don't know why I wasn't expecting that. I almost spat out my food.
I don't know what's
None of
going
us
on,
were
Doc.
expecting that.
No.
And you know what? I now want to do a show completely like that.
I think we should do like a love line-esque type of show where we take
that's a Sunday
questions.
show. That's a Sunday.
Yeah, with
that's
that
definitely a
music,
Sunday
and we're
show.
just like, let me tell you something. Yeah, if you're going down, he's got to go down too, baby. All is fair. You got to be a giver and a taker, okay?
Allison, I literally thought you were just talking about Survivor, and then I realized that can't be what you were talking about.
Episode of Survivor.
That changed a bit of
that changed a little bit, yeah.
All right, guys, listen. Welcome to my weekly meltdown, episode 12, Survivor, episode 42. Before we officially get started, I want to send my thoughts and prayers out to our patron, Dominic Capalla, whose father passed away yesterday. And we just wanted to know how much, he's more than just a patron and follower. He is a friend, and we love you very much. And like I told you the other day, you need anything, you reach out. It's been in the air. My mother-in-law passed away 2 weeks ago tomorrow. It's going around, but give him a hug and a kiss if you got him. That's all I can say. I mean, it's even if you don't like them, sometimes, you got to get in the will or something. Okay?
That's not where I thought that was going. Allison is, what I like about Allison tonight is I feel like we've done one of those choose your own adventure. And it's, you're like, if I do. Yeah.
Are we turning to page 21 now? And
yeah, we turned to
page
21, and no, she's not talking about Survivor. She's talking about sex.
And a sensual talk show. It's straight to, we gotta get in that will, bitch. Let's go.
Get it, will, bitch. Beat, bitch. Get it.
That's right.
That's right.
But welcome on into Matthew and to Nate. Matthew, who's obviously our mod extraordinaire, patron extraordinaire, and longtime friend of the show. And Nate, who we know has been involved in all of these circles, has been on the show, I believe, before with Tyler, right?
Yeah, I had a long break, but I'm back. Yay.
Well, so happy to have you back. Thank you both for joining us to talk about the penultimate episode of Survivor. I'm going to put it out there, and then I'm going to shut the fuck up about it for the rest of the night. But I was motherfucking right last week when I said, oh, look at Omar is definitely not in a good position. Don't say that he made this amazing move. He made himself the biggest target there.
And
thank you.
I'm going to jump in, and I'm
please.
going to say Marianne just made her game losing move.
So I
don't
disagree.
I don't see a path to final 3 for her at all.
Oh,
She's guaranteed
do.
4 though, so that's good.
She's definitely going to Final 4. She's got it.
Well, no, she's definitely going to Final 4.
Yeah,
but who? No one's taking her, so she'll have to win fire.
Oh, Mike would take her. Mike
would take her.
Romeo would take her.
No, but Mike and Jonathan are probably going to take each other because
Yeah,
Mike
but
and
it's a
Jonathan are
final
like
3.
alpha bro. Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll take.
So
the
who's
winner-
going to
she
win in
needs Romeo
firefighting
there.
or
She needs
fire
Romeo
making,
there.
Marianne or Romeo? I feel like
Yeah.
Marianne.
I don't know because I've never seen either one of them do it.
Yeah. I think that she's got the grit. I also see her. I think Mike would feel more indebted. If Mike wins, I see him taking. If Romeo somehow wins that Final 4 challenge, I see him taking Marianne over.
Oh yeah, that's
everybody else, too.
I mean, I'm thinking of the other of the realistic people to potentially win immunity. It's
Sure.
Lindsay, Jonathan, and Mike.
Right.
Because
We
Romeo
didn't even
and
bring up
Marianne.
Lindsay. Yeah. Nate, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts here?
I think Marianne does have a path. I think for her specifically, I think Mike is actually a lot more malleable than for anyone else in the game. She can catch him on quite a few things. The fact that they showed the scene where he promised to use the idol on her, and if he doesn't, if he has immunity next round, he will lose the game. So that's the other thing. Because if he used the idol on her, I think she would be able to use the idol on Romeo. I think that the only case in which he does that is if he wins immunity in Final 5. But I think the only person that's kind of screwed out of the game at the moment is Lindsay. I think she's the number one target going into next round. She has to win immunity or she loses the game. I'm a little confused as to why she didn't use the amulet this round. I'm like, you're immune.
Yeah,
it's the last round you can
that
play
logic
it.
was the most confusing situation to me too.
Yeah.
Maybe she wanted a souvenir. She can keep it, right?
Well, then just say that. That's fine.
Yeah,
but
then
she
just
said,
say-
I don't want it going back into circulation. It's an amulet.
It's an amulet.
It's not an idol.
It's not an idol.
Yeah.
It was an extra vote. It was a steal a vote, and now it's an idol.
Listen,
but it has never
guys,
been.
I'm not the smartest Survivor fan in the room. I'll own it. But an amulet has never gone back into. Am I
That's
wrong?
exactly the point,
Yep,
right? So we're sitting back. I'm going, girl, you're hungry. Because you aren't thinking through this. I don't want. And the fact that Omar, you got to fight for that. The fact that Omar was so comfortable. This was exactly the moment. He played this so wrong. What he should have done was had those moments from where like Denise Stapley had in Philippines, where she went, I'm not going to get this idol played on me. Let me go to the other people. Make sure that Malcolm gets voted out Final 4. I mean, or the next time, right?
Yeah,
because that was for the Final 5 vote, whatever.
Yeah.
But the whole point stands, right? Omar, you have to fight to have that played on you. Period.
I don't know why he stopped. For the game he'd been playing, why he was like, okay.
He got complacent. He was so used to not being targeted. He had not gotten a vote against him, I think, the entire time. He was like, oh, I'm gonna be fine. And it's like, bro, it's Final 6. Guaranteed immunity is guaranteed immunity. If you have a guarantee option, take the guarantee option. So
I'm gonna explain what happened. Do you want me to tell you what happened with Omar? Okay, hold on. I got to get down to business. So hold on.
Are you gonna twerk again?
No. I'm not, but I'm going to need the fly swatter for this. Hope everyone enjoyed my pajama bottoms.
I wanted to see him twerking.
No, nobody wants it. I've been banned. My son had to come to Jesus, talk with me. It can't happen. I mean, I'm going to a home, a bad one, government facility. Bed sores, not happening. Okay, so I can't. Okay. This is what happened with Omar, and this is what happens. It's a legend in Big Brother, and sometimes it happens in Survivor. He won a challenge. He won an immunity. Did he win an immunity challenge? He won a I'm gonna eat cake and cookies challenge, and he's gonna sit back and go, I'm Survivor confident because, it's Final 6. And I won cake and cookies, so I ain't going home. And I'm Survivor confident. And let's just be honest. I've been laying low this whole time. I was just waiting for the right time to pounce. And this was my jam. I can spin around and put a puzzle together or whatever. What was it? It wasn't that. What were they doing?
Yeah, it was the spin me around wheel over the balance beam where you untied the key. And then
opened
the
up
puzzle
the
pieces
puzzle
to make
blocks.
the compass.
I mean,
which is one of the more difficult puzzles in the game.
I would have won this challenge. I could have done this.
I think you would. I think Allison. I think you could have won this challenge.
So that's
This
not
might have been the first
saying much.
challenge. This is the first challenge I
Let's
think
be
I've seen on
honest.
Survivor. I'm confident Allison could have won because she's smaller.
Let's take a
So that
poll.
is prob-
Who would win? Who's more likely to win a Survivor challenge? Allison or Romeo?
Considering I probably weigh more than Romeo right now, I would win. And yes, the reverse spin, Dolores. How has Jeff never heard of this? I've done the reverse spin. Granted, there was some tequila involved and I had to make it to the bathroom, but I still made it.
Oh, I love it.
Get with
The
it.
reverse
Okay.
spin.
Also,
Love
I,
it.
I just want to throw in there, if you think you're in the driver's seat, throw the reward challenge every time. Like why? What, like, you don't need it. You don't need to secure anything. You want to be brought on the reward challenge if you're in control, not if you don't want to bring other people, you're showing your cards. Like
Mhm.
Omer should have immediately saw that if he thought he was in the driver's seat and just thrown it. Like, granted, it's a puzzle, but
And
I have to say, I'm sorry. I want cookies and cake. I'm
I
not
want
even
cookies
starving on a
too.
fucking island, and I would do that challenge to get some cookies and cake, bitch.
I
got
would have
pasta
literally,
throwing
today.
if let's say Beth wins that challenge and invites the three of us, I would have said no. I would have said no. That's going to make me sick. I'm
yeah,
not touching it.
yeah.
That's
The
a pretty
sugar
good
is
thought.
dehydrating.
Now,
yeah.
if you had given me, if you
It's
had said
quick
this was the chicken,
calories.
if you had said it's the chicken and veggies, I would have been like, I'll come with you, Beth. No
Yes.
problem.
Yeah, but on an empty stomach, both would make you question squatting suddenly.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
But the protein would at least last longer in my system than
Yeah.
the quick
That's
sugar
true.
rush.
I agree. I don't know if I'm maturing, and I don't think that's it. But
It
in
happens.
the moment when he was announcing you could have chicken and veggies or you could have chocolate cake and cookies, I was like, kind of want the chicken and the veggies, because
Mhm.
just think about, you've been eating like bland rice, and like, yeah, a cookie sounds fine, but something's gonna last a little longer, be a little better and easier on your system.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What the hell? What happened to Outback Steakhouse and all these other places that used to
it's
cook?
it's
They don't
it's
have
That's
Caesar
the
to
merch
be a
feast,
walking
Allison.
advertisement for it.
They don't.
Remember?
Okay.
also
They did the
Also,
Applebee's.
I don't think they want to have a repeat of Karang, where you give the guy steak and he gets so backed up you have to be
Yeah.
medevaced at Final Five.
Yeah.
Girl,
They
that
probably
was-
give
I
him a
don't
lip
think-
now. Actually,
they
now that I
may.
think about it. Yeah.
My intestines would explode and I get airlifted out, and then I got to come on this shit show and talk about it.
So
Can't
I actually
wait.
think they've limited how much like food you can actually eat on a reward.
Yeah, they
because
definitely had
since
there were
then-
definitely not that many
Yeah.
cookies on that platter.
Oh
compared
no,
to
I
some
don't even
previous
know if
seasons.
it's just that they've limited it as much
Yeah.
as they're like, new Survivor game, let's not spend a lot of money on rewards. Because remember, rewards used to be like, you're gonna take a helicopter trip over an island and then go into a volcano, and
We haven't
then after
seen
this
that.
hike, you're gonna have a massage and spend the night. It used to be stuff like that.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Or
go-
a brand new car.
Yeah.
Oh no, they got rid of
Right?
the car for a
I know they-
purpose.
I-
like
but
the
I
car
mean-
The
curse.
Survivor auctions.
Yes.
Like,
I think
oh,
it's the
They need to
Survivor
do it the way
auction.
Australian Survivor does it. Hide the advantages in a fucking jar of candy and then just let them bet on everything. If they
Totally.
don't bet on everything,
Oh, yeah.
the auction is a bust. Like,
I would love, I'm going to be honest. Yeah, food and such. I'm say this now as somebody who is full and has an access to a shower. But one of the best things that I saw people bet on were showers.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
one of the
that
best.
bathtub.
that's what I would want. I hate being
It-
dirty. I need
I want
a
a clean
shower.
booty.
Oh my
I want a
God.
Yeah.
clean booty.
I would have soaked in a bathtub for the whole entire auction, just to soak in it. Soak in
100%.
hot water.
It's
You
not
soak?
salt water. I'm
Yeah.
here for it.
It's
I might be
fresh water,
drinking the
it's
water
soaked.
instead of bathing in it.
Mhm.
No, I wouldn't do
Allison's
that.
weird, but we already knew that.
I
This
like
is
the
true.
idea that, like you said, a clean booty, nice clean crack, front and back would
Clean
be
gotta
clothes.
be
very
clean.
nice.
And
Usually
you always get
included
clean
with that.
clothes too. It
Yeah.
used to be you got
I think
Yeah.
there were a couple times where that wasn't. It's like a 50-50 type thing. Yeah.
or like they
Well,
gave you like
it's also
pajamas.
Yeah. It also sucks now because they don't let women wear bathing suits all the time, and they don't give you change of clothes that often. And so
Yeah.
I sit back and I'm like, do you know how much sand is going on down there?
Yeah, I think that like they've also thankfully stepped up how
lot going on down
what
there.
they allow people to wear. Thankfully,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's just used to be underwear or swimsuit, and like, no, like we don't want to watch people completely suffer. Like they're already hungry, gross, and tired. Like, just let
Oh.
them, let them wear clothes.
Let them live their lives.
Have you
Yeah.
ever worn, well, I guess this only really applies to people who wear any kind of swim tops and such.
Mhm.
Doesn't necessarily have to be just, women identifying people, but like there are times where you're wearing a swim top and there's some chafing with the nips, people. That would have been
Yes.
so uncomfortable,
Mm.
especially going in and out of the ocean where you've got all the salt water. Like,
Even
I will
wearing,
swim in the ocean for a few hours and be chafing for a
Mhm.
day.
even if you like wear a t-shirt,
Yeah.
that
Exactly,
stuff sticks
yeah.
and itches, and it's.
I
Not
think in
fun.
All Stars, Colby talked about having like chafing issues.
Yeah.
Like, because he wasn't allowed to change. They gave him nothing that season, so
Well,
that was
I think this is why I haven't made it on Survivor, because in my audition tapes, I specifically request to go somewhere where there is no sand or dirt
Mm.
and
You
bugs
did
if
say,
possible.
I'm here to audition for
So-
Survivor Alaska.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was about to say she's auditioning for Survivor Alaska, Survivor North Pole, Survivor Antarctica,
it's
Yeah.
incredible
maybe
to me how they
Survivor
haven't done
Finland.
US somewhere. Like, it doesn't need to be exotic. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it doesn't. You could have you seen some of the nasty beaches in the United States? You could just
Yes,
throw
yes,
me
I
on
have.
one of those, and that would be a one-woman Survivor right there.
Survivor Atlantic City.
That's
You're like,
right. Yeah.
I just in this
Survivor
challenge
Jersey
you'll
Shore.
be
I
dodging
was thinking
needles
Cape
all
May.
over the place, hidden in the sand.
Survivor Jersey Shore. Yes, you're in civilization, but do you
Cape
want
May
to
would
be?
be a disaster zone for Survivor. Ugh.
Civilization is pretty strong words there,
Yeah.
Matthew.
Yeah,
For
I'm trying to be nice to an
Jersey.
extent.
So this episode I thought was good, but we are getting to the end, which
Mhm.
is next week. And just for the loyal followers, as you know, we do not go live after the finale. We film the next night because, listen, I want to watch the reunion. Okay. I'm not going to lie. I want to watch the I've got to have more ammunition to bitch about Jeff because it's coming, because we know they cut corners with his haircut. I just got to figure out where else they've cut corners.
So
But
is the reunion gonna be like last season's reunion? They're doing it on
Yeah.
location.
I'm assuming so.
I was assuming so too, and
I'm okay with that.
I think it
Yeah.
made for a better reunion.
Yes. Yes.
I did not
Agreed.
like the COVID reunion.
I prefer to Winners at War reunion.
Oh yeah, we're at war reunion. Pretty bad.
Yep.
And that's saying something too, because I was trying to think about this. I was like thinking about, well, so what was worse, Winners at War reunion or season 12 of Drag Race reunion? And I got thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to give it to Drag Race because those queens were lip syncing in their own rooms. Like, and I'm like, I was like, oh
Yes,
man,
you're competing for $100,000 from your bedroom.
from your bedroom.
Yeah,
I
but
don't,
who
I don't watch Drag Race, but I can only imagine.
Oh.
doesn't do
It's a
that
trip.
though? Who's not in their bedroom turning up acting nuts?
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
but not for
People do that.
$100,000.
But not for $100,000 after you worked
So-
all season long to get to a point and you don't get
Yeah.
to do it in front of a huge audience with all the gimmicks and lighting and tricks. And you're just like, all right, person that I live with, could you flicker the lights at this moment while I just do this move? Like,
You just throw the
And
glitter.
the crown that
Somebody
you
get
get
a
to,
fan.
normally you get a crown to wear, but they have to just put an emoji over your head.
that
You
was
don't even get a real crown.
and
at
stuff
that-
that
Shit
normally
me
get-
not.
that
That
moment.
happened.
The
That
more
happened.
that I hear
Yes,
about
for
this,
season 12's finale.
Jana,
Had to
I'm
be
writing
done
that
soon.
down. I'm
Magic
going to
round.
watch that Drag
Yeah.
Race
season
I mean,
12
12 finale.
crowning.
I mean, this
Crowning.
is comparable
just
to
Google the
like
crowning.
Worlds
Yeah.
Apart finale, which was not like, or a reunion, which was happy birthday to Rodney, and then hey, second chance time. Let's just cut it in half. Like,
Are they
Honestly,
including
There's
every?
nothing to see here. Worlds Apart was okay. Nothing to see here. Second
Yeah,
chances.
they,
Second chances.
they were like, let's just sweep this season. Jeff loves that season, by the way. He thinks that's one of the best seasons.
Jeff's also on something. I
Jeff's
haven't
got
determined
a-
what
You know,
that something
Jeff
is.
has a hard on for Jonathan this season too. He's like,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
so
Oh, God.
strong.
Yeah,
If Jonathan
Wait,
wins this season, we'll never hear the end
he
of
won't. I don't think he will. He just
God,
doesn't.
I
What has he
hope
done?
not.
What has he done? Like,
No,
Like,
no.
no.
Jonathan could potentially win the season if the final three is Jonathan, Mike, and Romeo.
And then Mike just shoots himself in the head. Like,
I just
Yeah, I mean-
honestly, I don't see how Jonathan gets the votes even in that situation. I think people would respect Mike's game
Yes.
more. But here's the thing, and actually goes back to the Marianne of it all. If Marianne sits with Jonathan and Mike, I think Mike, for being such a loyal dude, has done nothing but go against all of his allies. So he's got a jury full of them. So I could see them voting for a Marianne, especially after the move she
Yes.
did tonight. And especially since Omar was fine with it. If Drea was going to vote for Omar, you're sure as shit she's going to vote for Marianne if she makes it to the final now.
And to Mike's credit, he has stopped saying like, "Hey, I'm with you all the way to the end."
Yeah.
He's like, he's realized like, yeah, I can't really say that anymore.
Here's also a weird thought.
Yeah.
I can see a finale where Romeo does win the season.
Oh, okay.
I see winners. I see very minor winners equity in Romeo because he hasn't voted any of these people out except for Omar. I think this is the first vote he's been on really the right side of the numbers.
Yeah.
So he can say, you know what? I've stayed here this whole entire time, not winning, being on the wrong side of every vote because no one wanted to talk to me. And, you know,
if he
I
makes it
like
like a
that.
strategy thing, I wanted to make sure I got to the end with being so, because I knew I was on the bottom of like the tribe. I wanted
I let
to make
everyone
sure
think I was
that
crazy.
What?
I was like, I would say I let everyone think I was
Sorry.
nuts, that I was useless, and I just let everyone take everyone else out.
It's on a
it's a-
timer, I feel like.
I do want to say
what
something.
was that?
I'm sorry, my Alexa seems to want to just go off in the middle of every freaking show I do on Wednesday at night. There's no delivery. There's nothing. It's the ghosts in the house. It's something. I'm not going to get too into it.
They're trying to get into the conversation.
Listen, there's been some weird shit going on here lately. So
I saw a tweet by Romeo that like someone screenshotted and put it on Facebook, and he's like, to everyone who says that I'm not doing anything or like just eating, like you would probably like end up doing the same, all of you that are just sitting on your couch. And then like this one person like in the comments of that was just like, oh, like this person, he only eats and doesn't do anything, human garbage. And then like someone replied like, funny how like you're literally the same person sitting that he's talking
You're
about.
sitting on a couch watching a show eating probably. Like,
so what does that make you?
Exactly. Like, shut up. Like,
honestly, if Romeo were to say my game was to lower my threat level so low that people wouldn't do this so that I would get to the end.
yeah.
That's solid enough.
They have the Christy from Australian Survivor. He has the Christy from Australian Survivor argument right now, where like anyone that tried to make a move so far has gone home. So except for Marianne, who just made a move. So from Romeo's perspective, it's like, hey, I've noticed anytime someone tried to blindside someone else and was successful or not, they got axed immediately. I'm the only one that didn't do that. I noticed that and I made it here. So
Man, I'm not buying it. If
he has an
Romeo
argument. I don't
tries
think he's going to win, but he has an argument.
Yeah,
I don't think he's going to win. I'm saying I can see a world in which he wins, unlike Heather last season. I didn't see a world where she could have won.
Isn't that the point I was making earlier, though? It's so easy to create your own narrative when you have made it this far and pull it out of your butt and go, well, you have been doing this all along. No, you have not. No, you haven't. So stop it.
That's what Ryan did in season 35, and he got a vote because he was like on fire, like trying to like beat down the other two in jury, or against Ben and why can't I remember her name? She was runner up to Ben. She deserved to win over him.
Oh yeah, Christy.
Christy. Okay, I thought it was
Christy.
Christy. I think Chrissy, yes. And like Ryan was like on fire. He's like, yeah, this is what I did. And he admitted like everything he's saying was complete and utter bullshit. But like he was like, it got him a vote. And that's
well, no, except now I thought of another way Romeo gets votes is if he goes to fire against Marianne, if let's say Jonathan and Mike are sitting in the finale and he beats her.
Here's what if say that Mike and Marianne are final two. Romeo and Jonathan have to make fire. Romeo wins in the fire making contest.
Oh my God, that'd be hilarious.
I
want it. It's a
Survivor
world I want to live
Facebook
in.
would have a
Give me that
meltdown.
world.
Yeah. I'd be scared for
can
Romeo.
we
He's so
manifest this?
freaking-
I know it happened already.
Yeah.
He's so freaking skinny. I'd be afraid that the fire would start coming towards him because they think he's a twig.
He would snap his own arm on, like trying to.
He'd
Yeah,
light
he would
himself on
light
fire, but then he
himself
could
on
hold it. He could
fire
hold,
just to try to help.
if you catch
would
yourself
happen.
on fire, can you hold your arm under the string and let the fire burn?
Just let it happen, Jeff. Just let it happen. I'm hungry.
But don't stop staring directly into Jeff's eyes and just go.
What are you gonna do?
The hair on,
Like, there's
the hair
only
on my
one more
arm
day
is
left in the
legitimate
game.
fire source.
Right.
I could pull it out and throw it in. So this is legitimate. It caught on
But
fire. I'm holding it here.
You know, this would be Jeff. Ready? Wow, y'all, we
I
have
hate him so
never
much.
seen anything like this before.
Someone's literally like, Romeo's gonna chop off his arm.
That was intense.
If that were me, I'd be like, just let it happen, Jeff. Because let me tell you something. One of two things that happen. If I'm not winning this fire challenge and I get eliminated, damn it, I'm getting my helicopter ride and I'm getting airlifted. One of two things is gonna happen. You just better let it. I want a helicopter ride.
I will vote for Ponderosa. I will vote from
I
the
love
hospital.
that.
I will vote for Ponderosa.
Hey.
Fuck sitting
Jeff,
in this
Or
grave.
you
Your
cart me in
rewards
like
were
Sophie
so
in Winners
cheap.
at War and just put my half-dead body on the
You
tree.
see me rolling in on a gurney.
Yeah,
Hey,
bring me
guys.
to the hospital bed. I'll be comfortable for all of the final trouble. I'll be
just
on my morphine and pills and be like,
What
hey.
did you do to try to win? I tried to burn myself
Like,
alive.
literally, they forced Sophie to come in at Winners at War. She was, if you remember in the finale, she's sitting there like half dead in the rain.
Oh, I
just
felt so bad for
my
her.
They would
Oh my
do that to
gosh.
me just for fun. Let me ask you a question, because this episode was great and everything. I thought I'm just going to throw it out there real quick. I think Marianne's winning this season.
Yes.
After tonight's episode, and I know that's not popular, and a lot of people may disagree. The fact that she had to use her extra vote and she was trying to orchestrate something that nobody else would really get on board with, she kind of had to do it herself. I hate to bring this up every time this happens, but I have to. I played in a game called Sequester years ago, and I had to make a big move. No one was on board with me, so I had to make it happen myself. And everybody's like, what the fuck happened? How did that happen? And I'm like, well, yeah, and I had to do it myself because nobody would listen to me. So you've got to make those moves and do what you have to do to play a game. And, Mike is sitting there saying, well, this is my life and this is my decision. Fair enough. But don't knock her by saying, she's playing Survivor 18.0 and I'm playing Survivor 2.0. What does that even mean, Mike?
Well, we're on Survivor 42.0, Mike. Why don't you
Where-
update the system a little
I
bit?
mean,
No,
that
you need
threw me.
Well, no, remember, we dropped the 4, leave the 2.
Yeah.
So that's what Mike thinks. He's on Survivor 2.0.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I think the only people that have a winner's edit that are left are Mike and Marianne. It's going to be one
Yeah.
of them.
I think
So
Lindsay also has a winner's edit. She has
after
Erica's
tonight,
vote
I
from last
think
season.
that's shot.
If
I don't know.
Lindsay wins immunity next week, I can
Or
absolutely
wins,
see her.
because I think she could win fire against.
I think
you
she
know,
could.
If she wins the final 5 immunity, I think she can win the season.
I
Here's the
want
thing.
both Mike and Lindsay in the final 3 for personal reasons, but
Yeah, here's the thing, okay? Marianne has better connections with everybody left in the game than Lindsay does.
Yeah.
Right? Lindsay, her ride or die essentially was Omar. She went all in on Omar, but actually didn't go all in on Omar, which is why Omar leaves, right?
yeah.
If she had the foresight to realize, I only go to the end with Omar, who's going to win the game if I sit next to him, she should have spent the time over the past couple of votes really trying to bridge that gap and create those relationships, right?
Yeah.
And she just didn't do that. She also, the reason why I knew Omar was going to go was because of her edit tonight, which was I'm underestimating Jonathan and Jonathan's knowledge.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Jonathan knew we're playing each other. She thinks, he's following what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So that tells me Jonathan actually has a stronger case if the two of them sit together in the finale to say, no, she was playing checkers, I was playing chess.
Yeah.
And that's a compelling argument for this jury.
I have a speculatory question.
Sure.
Let's say Romeo or Marianne win immunity next week or at the final 5. Do you vote out Lindsay or do you vote out Jonathan if you're Marianne?
Man, that's a hard one.
Oh,
Maybe Lindsay because Jonathan is losing gas. That's just me.
I would take out Jonathan because she just absolutely owned Lindsay tonight. So I think that if she takes out Jonathan, that's a much better move to set up her end game.
If you take out Jonathan, you are now Mike's number 1, and he takes you to the end.
Yeah.
You need to remove that remaining duo in the game.
Yeah, she can't be the one directly responsible for it. She needs to put the blame on Lindsay specifically. So
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
But I would say that if she got out Lindsay, either way, you're getting out a strong competitor and a challenge and increasing the likelihood that someone other than one of the two of them wins the final immunity challenge at 4.
what would be great for Marianne is if she does a Natalie Anderson, wins immunity, plays the idol on Lindsay, then she owns Lindsay's game.
Lindsay,
she
did you
takes out
vote the way I
Jonathan.
told you to?
Yeah.
If she pulled that, I'd
Yeah.
be like, give me, I'm voting for you right now. Jeff, let's do final tribal right now.
If Marianne is able to do that, she wins the game. Like, just straight up. Just, it's over.
Yeah, but
what I
unless Mike would pull the reverse card and say, "I'm playing my idol for Jonathan," and
Mike
they vote
also has
for
to win a
Romeo.
challenge. So that's
Oh my
the thing.
gosh. That would be incredible because
Yeah.
then there's only 2 people who can get votes, and then it comes down to that.
Well,
Yeah.
no, they would just vote for Romeo. Like they would
Yeah.
block the votes on Jonathan.
I feel like
And
Romeo's next.
it would
to go.
nullify Marianne's big vote because she would have to do that first. And Mike would realize, oh, they didn't vote the way I wanted to.
Right.
So they're probably voting for my friend. And we vote for Romeo.
Let's do big brain, right?
Yes, we're gonna
Let's-
scenario.
Let's keep Romeo out of whichever way they're going to do. 2 votes versus 2 votes. Romeo just throws a vote somewhere, right? Tell Romeo to vote for Mike in that situation.
Yeah.
Guess who
That's
goes
actually
home?
that's a smart thing to do, actually, because that guarantees that she gets a target out no matter what.
And Mike now uses his idol to save Jonathan, has the sole remaining vote, and goes.
but
that would be dope.
But
I'm
then
sorry, what did y'all what?
we basically said in a world where the girls vote for Jonathan, the guys
Okay.
are voting for
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
If Marianne
And
wins
Romeo
immunity.
casts a random vote, which he's done all season long,
Mhm.
and
Okay.
plays it on Mike.
Or if the girls say, we're voting Mike, vote for Mike, and he
Okay.
votes for Mike,
Yeah.
Okay.
right? But they're actually voting for Jonathan.
Mhm.
Marianne has immunity because she wins it, right? We're saying that in this case, she's
Okay.
won immunity.
Yeah.
She
wins,
gives
yeah.
her
Which is
idol
possible.
to Lindsay, so they're both safe. So the boys who just casted their vote for her nulled.
Yeah.
Mike says, "Oh no, I know you're coming after Jonathan." Plays his idol for Jonathan,
Mhm.
voids out those 2 votes for Jonathan. Who's the remaining 1 vote left? Mike. Mike goes.
I'd also like to mention, now that Omer's gone, Marianne's the favorite for puzzles. That's the other thing.
Yep. That's true.
So,
Well, we don't know how good or bad Romeo is at puzzles because he's never getting to the end to actually try to do it.
Yeah. I think he got to the end of this
He
one.
got to the
He
immunity.
got to the end of
or
this one, but
award
Omar was
he
pretty much
beat-
done with the puzzle by the time Marianne and
Well,
Romeo
no,
showed up.
the
reward
Romeo beat
challenge.
Marianne to the
Oh, the
puzzle.
reward.
Marianne passed him, so
Yeah.
that's the thing.
I'm really good at puzzles. I've been working on a Harley Quinn puzzle for 2 years. 2. It's over 1,000. Beth, do you remember that puzzle I started working on when I moved into do you remember me talking about it? My puzzle?
Oh, well, like a year ago, right?
2 years ago.
2 years. Oh my god, I have no sense of time with the pandemic.
Neither do
Yeah.
I
Have
was
it
like, wait,
on
Beth
a
and
board
Allison have known each
upstairs.
other for 2 years? This doesn't.
Three.
We've known each other for 3.
Mm.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
I have it on a board
How long
upstairs.
have,
and
then
I
I've known
have
you
to
for
take
like what,
breaks
4,
from it.
5 years, Beth?
You and I started probably since 2017, late 2017.
Jesus Christ! I have.
But
no
you want to
So-
know
time
something
either.
funny?
What's that?
Nate and I
Mm.
I know you
met
and Nate go way
birth.
back.
before I met you two.
Yep.
Mhm.
I think How did Allison? We got introduced because I think I did like a mini one night or something like that, and you played. I think that's how I think that's how we got in touch specifically.
I think so.
Yeah.
You know what's
I
great
think
about
remember.
this is that all of us just increased our chances of being cast together on Big Brother.
Let's do it.
Wow, these people know each other. We did no background check.
We don't
Oh, they
we
don't?
have to come up with anything.
I think in the 22, I think, which was that was the camp counselor season, right? Or was that
Mhm.
21?
yeah, 22.
They I think they were intending to do like a rivals theme, but they didn't get everyone they needed to get for it, and then they just couldn't change it.
So me and Nate can be rivals. Beth and Allison can be rivals.
Matt,
We have
Matt,
rivals.
fair.
Yeah.
To be
Henning-
fair,
to
We'd
if
have to
Allison
fake
hadn't
it.
won her game, I likely would have won if depending on who would have
Oh,
gone
no, yeah.
to the finals there.
Yeah.
So
If-
that could be a rivals thing.
I wanted to
Henning
see
and
the
I would
final.
work together.
Yeah, me and Nate would work together.
But
If-
I would
if the-
eventually do something that would piss him off, and then he'd be like, "I'm done with Nate. He's gone."
I'm using
I
my
don't
power
even-
veto on myself. Nate, you're going up. Sorry about it.
I don't even know how I won that many. Maybe
know how you
because
won
I peed in a cup with one
That was
hand
pretty
that
great.
I made you do it.
Matt moderated that room. Do what?
I made you do it.
Yeah, I was like, man,
Meanwhile,
Many,
I
many,
was
many.
while you were peeing in a cup, I was balancing a balloon on a spoon, spinning around in a chair for like a long time.
back when it was fun. And that was just a regular Saturday night for the four of us, you know.
That was 2019.
Those 20 now Saturday nights around here are called the reverse spin. Am I right? Just kidding.
Marianne,
It's
like
the drumming for me. The
Marianne, like spinning in reverse to try to counteract whatever was going on.
Woo!
I'm like, that's a way to do it, but like,
also,
mean,
thank God she was on the end of the course for that
Really,
because she went
she
like
could have hurt
way-
somebody.
yeah,
I would have loved it
We're,
if she had
we're
just
lucky.
like
I was getting Crystal Cox vibes though. I was like, this is great. We haven't seen something like this in a while.
oh my gosh. So yeah, so thinking about next week, who do we honestly think, if you had to rank it in order, who's your most likely to win? Who is your least likely to win?
Marianne's going to win. Romeo's least likely to win.
Okay.
I think my most likely to win, because I think she can win immunity challenges, is Lindsay. Marianne would be a close second if she can find a way to that final tribal council.
Yep.
I think my least likely to win is probably Jonathan, because he hasn't made any
He has
connections to anybody. And
I
yeah,
I thought you were done.
yeah, I'm pretty much done.
I it's between Marianne and Mike for me. I think Mike wins if Marianne doesn't get to the end. I think Marianne if she gets to the end, she just flat out wins. I think Lindsay's smack dab in the middle. If she can take out those two, she's the next most likely. Jonathan's been portrayed as an idiot mostly throughout the entire season, mostly at Lindsay's beck and call there, but he's been portrayed as someone who's not socially conscious, and someone who is not very smart in the gameplay aspect, and he's admitted it himself. And then Romeo, he hasn't done anything particularly amazing. It's just he's survived, and that's a point in his favor. But he's being portrayed as someone who is not looked highly upon more than Jonathan. So I think out of everyone, I think whoever's sitting next to Jonathan, Romeo wins the game.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think Marianne's gonna win. She's my number one. I think Romeo has the least agency in the game. He can't even win an award for himself. He has to depend on other people to do that kind of thing, to bring him along on that. And even if he were to say all the arguments that we came up for him tonight, I just don't think that this jury, who, when you look at the cast of characters on the jury, they're looking at strategy. I think that they all have been wowed and are kind of over Jonathan's physicality. So I don't see them being like, wow, Jonathan got all the way to the end on physicality alone, let's reward him. When you have people like Hai, Drea, Omar, Tori, these are all people who are going to look at strategy.
Yeah.
So I honestly think at that case, it's Marianne or Mike to win. Lindsay for me is smack dab in the middle because even if she can get to the end, she loses points for tonight. And she wasn't the person leading things. She was the follower. So Omar came up with the plan. Yes, he needed her to execute it, but it doesn't look good when she had the opportunity to save him and bring him to the end. And she also required him to have the clearest path to the end. That's where I lose.
Here's also some of my problem is Marianne is a Black woman on Survivor. They don't get a winner's edit like this,
right?
Yeah,
and like that's one of the things that's holding me back.
Yeah,
on a Marianne victory is because if they gave her this edit and she is really the winner, my mind would be blown.
Yeah,
it would be beautiful in its own way though, because they've shown her
in a very positive light.
Very positive, but they've shown her make mistakes, be a complicated character, be the write-off, be the hero. She's really had a really complicated winner's edit that's unlike anything we've seen for a lot of winners recently, let alone a Black woman who, by the way, has only won this game once, and it was 20 years ago. So imagine if she wins.
Who was it that won? I apologize. I can't.
The Black woman was Vesepia
from season 4 Marquesa.
She barely won too. Like she only got to the end because she took out Kathy. Like that's really she only won because Kathy went home. So that's really it.
And let's also just make this point. I saw this on online the other day, and it made me go, "Yup." Let's never forget, Vesepia was in the same exact spot as Boston Rob. And who has come back multiple times, but who actually won that season in that first season?
Yeah.
Putting that back up. She didn't even get a call for Winners at War. She's the one Black woman and who played a great game and bested.
And a fan favorite. She's a huge fan favorite. Yeah.
And she didn't even get a call. What? And
I
Earl didn't get a call. Like
Earl did. Earl did. He couldn't because he had a kid.
Yeah, Earl had
I heard that he didn't. Okay, so that makes much more sense.
I heard he said he got a call. He just literally could not.
Okay,
Earl, I believe, like Earl and Tina did not get a call.
Tina didn't.
Yeah, because I think they thought she was too old, and
Natalie
she was also.
didn't.
And Todd didn't, but that's because
they tried to avoid as many winners as possible that had any sort of controversy related to them. So like Hatch was cut because of that. Mike was cut because of that. The only person that didn't fit that was Vesepia, other than Tina, which I can understand Tina because even though she is a fan favorite, production doesn't quite like her for whatever reason. But she is very well liked. And I think they also saw she was just a little too old to play.
She's also, I mean, she did come back for Blood versus Water and for All Stars, and so she's been back before.
Yeah.
It's not to me as egregious as it was for Vesepia.
And Tina's the only person who's been the winner, the juror, and a pre-juror at first voted out.
She's
done it all in Survivor. It's like, okay, we bring her back for what?
Yes. I would also.
You look so troubled right now.
I'm sorry. I'm sitting here and the comments are disappearing and reappearing on my screen. And I apologize. I'm not trying to be, I was trying to figure out if I've done I touched something and I don't know what I've done. So
This is what you get for not doing the correct intro. Tyler's fucking with you.
You want to know something? Look at this. Look at this. My grandson is judging you. Right now, look at that.
Also, I would like to. I've seen this on Facebook and Twitter, and people are like, "Oh, Jonathan has a chance to win." Everybody, like, they all want to take him out. Like, clearly he's a threat, and like, no, they don't want to take him out because he's a threat. They want to take him out because they don't want him in the final 4 position where he gets to make a decision. When they don't want him to make the decision, they want to make the decision. Like, that's the whole point. Like, while Jonathan is not as easily controlled, but he's more of a wild card than anyone else. It's not that he's a threat to win. It's just they don't want to leave that decision in his hands.
Do you think, and let me play devil's advocate for Jonathan here for a second. I'm just going to throw my hat in the ring like I know what I'm talking about.
I just want to say this quick since we have it up. Adrian, you're wrong. He voted out Roxroy at the split tribal council.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Don't say this is the first vote.
That's true, yeah. Him and Ty did that move, yeah.
Oh. Well,
because everyone voted out Roxroy.
Well, I'm going to throw a flag too.
Let's do it.
Where is it? I'm
Go for
throwing
it.
it. It's a red flag, and I'm throwing it. Listen,
That was
was a
impressive.
That was a
I
snap.
thought this was
that
gonna
was
break.
very scary.
That
Um,
was.
Beth,
Beth is trying to
Whoa.
turn into a katana.
sounds like you're breaking bones over there.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Or like what's
She's
his
gonna
face
get her
from
fingers and it's gonna
Avatar.
go.
You know, Jonathan doesn't have this is what I'm getting from Jonathan.
Mhm.
The guy's big, okay, and I feel like an orb just flew across. What's the timestamp? 45. Okay, I'm gonna look that up, but I feel like an orb just went across my screen. Anyway, I feel like Jonathan might be a little put out, maybe because he did carry a lot of the challenges literally carried the
Mhm.
challenges, and he's at the point now where maybe he's put out. Like what last week's challenge, and I'm sorry, I'm because I wasn't here
He's
last
gassed.
week. When he's tired, he's put out, he doesn't feel like he has to do. You guys do something, okay? Do something. Figure out how to untangle a net, okay? While I'm untangling everyone in the ocean, trying not to die.
Yeah.
Okay,
He's
getting a
also
ladder and
hangry
shit.
because he's used to eating like
He was hangry.
like 3 dozen eggs in a day. So
So he's roughly the size
Yeah.
of a bar.
He's
Yeah,
literally
I knew
Yeah.
Beth was going there when Nate said 3 dozen eggs. I'm like, and in 3, 2, 1, Beauty and the Beast.
But they don't.
Keep
you
going,
don't-
Allison.
The whole calorie intake. Yeah, you're not gonna. Yeah, it isn't fair that. I'm 4'11", 100 pounds. I'm not gonna have the same calorie intake as Thor. Jonathan. So I don't know. I just feel
I
like
have a
he's
bigger
put out.
calorie
And he's
intake
done.
than Jonathan. They wouldn't be like, "Oh, Matt, you should stop your bitching."
Dude, I am the calorie intake for.
No, I think Jonathan should stop his bitching because I remember when Jeremy was preparing for Second Chances and Winners at War, he was in interviews saying like, "Hey, I'm a bigger guy, I'm muscular, but I've been preparing my body for this. I am shrinking my stomach size. I'm making sure I'm eating less going into it," because he was ready. He was always in the zone for both of those seasons because he didn't need to eat as much.
That's
His body
exactly
was
what I
used to
said
lower
last
calorie
week too,
intake.
Nate. There's
Yeah.
a way to prepare for this, regardless of your body type. Some
Yeah.
people need to bulk up. Some people need to lose weight
Yeah.
lose weight in a few different kinds of ways. Not just when we say lose weight, we're not talking about fat all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're talking about getting
Needing
rid
to
of some
lose
of your
muscle.
muscle mass,
Yeah.
lowering your metabolism a little bit, because what he has is an incredibly high metabolism that is
Yeah.
incredibly protein based
Yes.
and has a higher caloric intake.
He also
That
has
is something
incredibly
you can-
less fat. On his body.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And to go just to carbs is a shock for his system. So yes, there is a way to prepare for that.
Mm-hmm.
My other argument for that, of course, is going to be just everybody is hangry, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Everybody is depleted of energy. I don't give a shit. There's people out there like, I don't understand why they're so hungry because it's not nearly as long as others. Fuck off. These are
They've
people
been given
who are
less.
literally.
They've been given less natural. Like they've been given no rice, and the islands have been picked over somewhat because they just had a season. On
They are
them.
literally eating
That's a
anything
good
they
point,
are
Matthew.
eating
Mhm.
does
I hadn't
not
thought of that.
have like fiber and carbs in it that will sustain you for energy for longer.
Mhm.
They're quick sugar spikes and then they're
Mhm.
gone.
And then,
So-
fun fact: coconut is a natural laxative. So if you
True.
eat only coconut, you're gonna have a rough time. Which was what Hai was doing, and that's why he forced himself to eat meat because he literally could not eat anything. It would just go right through his system.
I'm not
Yeah.
a fan of coconut water. I love coconut scent, and I'll eat a little coconut. But let me tell you something. That's a good point Matt brought up, that the island has been picked over because of this. I would be beside myself if I was on Big Brother. Well, yeah. But if I was on Survivor 43 and I had to be on the same camp that Jonathan was on, there's nothing here. I got to eat spiders and
Well,
shit.
they plant
There's literally
coconuts
nothing
between
here.
seasons. They've come out and said, yeah, they plant
Yeah.
coconuts.
I hope
They
because
so.
also there was
They can't
also a
plant
lot of
something else?
cast members from this season who have said that they had plenty of fruit, like it
Yeah.
wasn't picked
Did they?
over and that kind
Yeah.
of thing. So it
Because I
wasn't
was
like
because did they shoot on the exact same beaches?
A couple
they
of the beaches
did.
were the
So
same, yeah.
the reason why they moved to one of those camps and keep it for the merge for 41, they moved it from those 2 camps to the center camp because then they just immediately started redoing those islands for the next season.
Yeah.
So this is a huge production. It's not just, okay, we're only
Mhm.
focusing on this particular
Yeah,
season.
there's no
When they're
a lot of
shooting
it.
2 seasons essentially back to back, they have to prepare and make sure that they're not putting the
Yeah.
second season at a disadvantage for resources.
There's also
I
less
wasn't
of a
sure if
turnover
they would have
time
enough
this year.
time to
Yeah.
restock and reload.
There's a whole
'cause-
crew who does that and focuses on that portion, and there's a different crew that focuses like on challenges and current season stuff.
Yeah.
Do they have bathrooms? Like, do they have porta pots they get to
Yeah.
use, or do they have to go dig
No,
holes?
it's dig
They go in the
holes,
ocean
to the
most
ocean.
of the time.
Yeah, it's
If
safer in
you're
the
gonna
ocean.
take a poop, it's probably gonna be.
Well,
an
I know there was
aqua
the
dump.
whole aqua dump thing that I was obsessed with years ago, but I haven't heard anyone talk about it lately.
No,
So I'm like, did they just give up because of the coconut water and they're tired? Can you imagine going on Survivor? Like, am I going to be walking in diarrhea, coconut poop, hill landmines?
so I feel like what we've seen is a drastic change in editing and storytelling. It went from talking about the balancing of surviving the island and the gameplay. And the only thing we really see now is if there's elemental things that happen or if there's like hunger. And that's it. Unless something happens, like it's diarrhea explosion time across, like when people are being medevaced or something.
Or like there's like 3 people vomiting. If there's like
it's coming out of both ends for 3 people, and they're going to put it on the story somehow. Maybe, but really, I follow a few of the different Survivor contestants who have been on, maybe the past 10 seasons or so on TikTok. So you have like Kelly Wentworth and Lauren and these different people who are sitting there and telling you all the inside tea about, this is the producers choose your clothes based off of things that you bring. So you don't get
Marianne even admitted they chose her stuff this season. Yeah.
And then, but they say like when you have to go to the bathroom, you get a leaf, you don't get toilet paper. So have fun with that. And a lot of people choose to go in the ocean because
it's easy cleanup.
It's a basic cleanup, and also you don't have, people normally go to the same area to go do it. So it's not like they're like, hey guys, I'm going to go right in front of camp where we all swim and stuff.
Where we bathe and swim. It's like, I'm just going to take a shit right here.
I can't.
But also think about this, guys. It's not like they're eating a lot that needs to be passed.
Yeah,
I wouldn't poop anyway. I never poop on vacation.
And that was a conversation I was having with my mom tonight when we were talking about the 2 rewards. Is like, I know if I ate chocolate cake, I would get sick.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if my stomach has been completely emptied, it might not. Because
most of the challenges they said everybody gets sick after every single eating challenge. Like it's every single time
because they're gorging.
Fail.
Yeah, they're gorging.
And everybody gets sick when they get to Ponderosa because you're just overeating and that kind of thing. Your body takes a week or so to get adjusted to taking in more calories and actually being satiated.
Yeah. So you just have to pace yourself whenever you go into these challenges, and you don't want like the heavy calorie stuff when you go to a challenge. You want stuff that's going to give you lean meat. So anything that's chicken, turkey,
like chicken and vegetables.
Poultry, that's one of the best rewards you can get. Yeah, fish.
That's like my diet: turkey, chicken. I love my turkey hot dogs, y'all.
And heartier vegetables are also really great. Like the vegetables that don't make you poop. That's going to be one of the better vegetables.
But see, this is the thing. Okay, so for years, and by years I mean the past like 4 years, I've been diagnosed with Crohn's, and then today we changed the diagnosis to ulcerative colitis. Either way. Roughage is rough.
It's very rough.
One. So there's, first of all, I'm never playing Survivor anyway.
Yeah.
But I would definitely not be able to play Survivor as somebody with IBD, inflammatory bowel disease, because the things that would be so good for your body to have after being so depleted, my body would be like, this single piece of lettuce is tearing up your whole body.
Well, that's my mother without Survivor. Is if you give her like a piece of shredded lettuce in her like sandwich when she said no lettuce, it's over.
Yeah.
Like literally the best food for me is rice and not vegetables half the time. It's not.
I had a salad the other
off rice.
Yeah, I had a salad the other night, and my son and my daughter-in-law were like, It was a regular salad, and it had the purple leaves cabbage in it, and I was picking them out before I ate and put the dressing on it. And my brother's like, feels like my brother. My son is like, why are you taking just those leaves out? And I go, because they come out the way they go in. I don't eat that purple shit.
I'm just glad they don't do like dairy and stuff, like, because I'm like I'm lactose, so like for
I
me,
am too.
yeah, like seeing those chocolate chip cookies, I would have been like, like that's
why I would have said to Omar, I've been like, I'm good.
Yeah,
you take someone else on this reward, I'm good.
Yeah, like that could mess me up.
I saw one of my friends and fellow podcasters, Jenny Autumn, tweeted, "Man, Jonathan was upset because think about how many eggs went into that cake."
Damn, that's true. Man, that's
and the cookies. Yeah.
Anyway, we had a really great conversation, mostly about poop tonight, but a little bit about strategy. Do we have the? I know they're not updated, but do we have the drafts that we can discuss quickly?
Hold on.
I lost a person, and Allison lost a person.
I get to update the draft. All right, no,
Allison.
But let's see what was last week, the 11th. Okay.
Last week we lost Andrea. This week we lost Omar.
Is this it?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's
so. Remembering that he also conveniently forgot to block out High last week on both of the drafts.
Let's do this one.
Okay, so Allison, you have lost
Omar,
and
that's it.
And then Tyler actually does not have High, but that's it. So I'm left with Jonathan,
that's why.
who I don't think has winner's equity. Tyler has Marianne, who I think has winner's equity, and then Allison, you've got 3 out of the 5 in the finals here.
I have to say, I had a little help picking that draft.
Yes, you did.
From whom?
I can't confirm or deny. I'm not going to give his name away, but it rhymes with Matthew. Benning.
It was me. I have the screenshots of the conversation of me sitting with Allison during
we were texting during the draft.
We're on Facebook Messenger, and I'm like, here's my list. Here was how I picked, and Allison picked the way I
can you put the patron draft back up there?
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. Let me get to page.
So I lost my person.
So Matt lost Omar tonight, and so Matt goes into the finals with 2. Rory goes into the finals with 2. Adrian goes into the finals with 1. It's pretty even split. Unfortunately, Liza went out last week with Drea.
Yeah.
But wow,
who looked beautiful tonight in Tribal Council.
I love Drea so much.
It'll be an interesting finale if we could get both Marianne and Lindsay in the finals.
I think that would be amazing.
That could also, I think if that happens, we have a plurality winner instead of necessarily a majority winner.
I could see that.
Depending upon who the third person is, but
I think that is
about wraps it up.
That wraps it up. I know next week is the finale, and it'll be September before we get 43. But didn't they already release the cast, or is there a rumored cast?
There have been some spoilers out there.
Inside Survivor, who's Martin Holmes has done his. Hey, this is pretty much who the cast is, kind of list.
Do we recognize any of these people?
Hawaii next season.
I did not
recognize anyone like we did.
Yeah, me neither.
This season.
I did. Oh, that's a lie. I did recognize this girl, Beth Dixon. Very shocking.
Are you on Survivor next season? You're not on Survivor next season, are you?
When would she have had time to be on Survivor next season? She's been on my weekly meltdown every single
Also, I'm actually more offended that you wouldn't have been able to notice me physically looking haggard as shit as I came back.
Listen, I was about to say before we started, I forgot you look like you've lost some weight.
Oh, well, thank you. I'll take that.
Yeah, Beth would have been gone for about 4 weeks.
Yeah,
if I had done well enough.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. No, I would have done the pre-trip. But
yeah, minimum.
I've long said this. if I'm ever crazy enough to play Survivor, if I play, I want to make it to the merge, and I either want to be the merge boot, so I get to be at Ponderosa and get all the glory of the jury and all that kind of stuff, or I'm fucking winning, and there's no in between.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I'm a step different from Beth. I either want to be the first boot, or I want to win. Anything else is a waste of my goddamn time.
I want to do.
You know what, Matt? I gotta agree. I gotta
Either
agree.
get me out of here now, or give
Yo,
me
if
the
I make the end, I'll be happy. I'm $100,000 richer at the minimum.
There you go.
Well, no, I'm getting to the finale. If I'm not the first boot, I'm getting to the finale, and someone's giving me something.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well,
I will
next
get my
week,
money. Goddamn.
Adrian's birthday, one of our many patrons
is
and good
for the
friends that comes
Yay.
on the show with us. His birthday's next week. Your birthday's
Yes, it
next
is.
week is
Next
Aw.
Wednesday.
we have to.
Happy
I guess
early
I've
birthday.
got to.
Holiday.
Beth, we got to practice the pipes.
Beth doesn't
Last
need to
time I had
practice.
to sing
Literally,
Happy Birthday by
she just
myself.
goes from talking to singing in 2 seconds.
Well, here's the thing. After the finale, I will be less than a week away from my concert at Carnegie Hall.
So listen, we got to sing Happy Birthday like it's Carnegie Hall.
Oh. Then could you imagine if that's what Carnegie Hall, like I was looking at their schedule of like everything coming up, it's all like Mozart and all that kind of stuff, and I was like, could you imagine if I just got up there and was like
I had a mental image of you two, like there's just a single mic, nothing else on stage. You both walk out, you just do that, and like everybody in the audience is just like, what the fuck did I do?
My husband freaks out when we're in the car.
Beth and Allison can do random notes at a mic at Carnegie Hall.
My husband freaks out in the car when I'm like, oh, and I'm like, the hand immediately goes up, and he's like, oh shit, no, please, God.
I also noticed
The second
Adrian pointed
image.
out on the rumored cast there are no Canadians.
Yeah.
Mm.
Especially because if Marianne wins this, 2 Canadians win the past 2 seasons. Also, 2 women would then have won the past 2 seasons after having no women win since Sarah Lucina.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
and it's
very good.
I would love one of the women to win.
Yes.
I'm just scared that they're not, because
I'm going to
doesn't
manifest
reflect the
it.
female
We're going to
win.
manifest Jonathan losing at Fire, and we're going to manifest.
I honestly, at the merge, I was like, I don't see any of the women winning. And then like halfway through the merge, I'm like, hold on. Like, wait a minute. No, the women could win. But yeah.
I want to see Mike lose at fire making and then have to go home with shame
I wanna
in
see
his
Now, listen.
firehouse that you lost
a friend
fire
of mine.
making.
A
Yeah,
fireman
love that.
shouldn't know how to start a fire.
That's
They
true.
know
They
how
should
to
only
put
know
it
how to
out.
take it out.
Actually, no, they're trained on how to do that so they can put it out.
Oh, see,
yeah.
that's what I know.
Yeah, firemen
That's what I know.
should know
I
how to
still
make a
say
fire.
we want to manifest Romeo beating Jonathan in fire making.
That would be great. I would love to see Romeo.
I would love Romeo. Yeah, if Romeo wins at fire making, all bets are off.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of all bets are off of how much longer we can have this music play.
So let's
where can people find you, both Nate and Matthew, if you would like to be found?
well, my Twitter handle is here. That's really the only place you'll find me. If
But
you
for
try
the
to find me
audio
on Facebook, I
listeners.
will block you. No. You can find me at IceMystic1216. You may catch me on Twitch in the near future, depending upon my schedule. And that's about it.
Very cool. Nate?
And then my my Twitter handle is at Hatzmania, HATZ Mania. I like to argue with people about my hobbies and tell them how stupid they are about their opinions. So if you want some drama about Pokemon and other things, follow me.
I caught a shiny Rayquaza today, so I'm pretty excited.
Oh, you lucky bitch.
All right. Allison, take us out.
Make sure you become a patron on www.thepatrons.com/myweeklymeltdown, because we're going to be doing some Patreon shows and live watches for Big Brother when it comes out this summer, y'all. And then we're going to be back Monday night, y'all.
Yeah.
And we're going to be doing this New Orleans homecoming show, baby. And then next Thursday night, probably around 7
8-ish.
Central, bitch. I don't know why I said that. Depending on Tyler's spin class, bitch. We go
has
get
spun
down
himself out
to
of
the
finale.
finale show. So
That's
there you
going to be such a show because we're going to have Allison, myself, Tyler, Andrew Gibson, and Jackie coming all together. 5 of us together shall be interesting.
It's gonna be a 5-way. Yeah.
Also,
It's gonna be a lot of
since
reverse.
Since Allison forgot during her spiel. Also, follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Yeah.
Leave
Spotify,
5-star
Apple
reviews.
Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, it's not
No,
iTunes, it's Apple Podcasts.
It's an Apple Pod. Did you know they don't make them anymore? They're not. The little mini
Oh,
things.
the iPod. Yeah,
iPods
the
don't
iPod.
exist.
iPods don't. So don't look for us on that.
Don't, if you do,
We're gonna be
need
there.
to shit on
stopped.
eBay.
We need to be
I love how
stopped now.
chaotic this podcast is today.
Yeah.
We're gonna be there.
This is what
Alright.
happens when you put the 4 of us together. Chaos.
This is what happens when Tyler's not here.
We're on
And
Spotify and Apple.
we want to say a
Pat.
very special fuck you to Tyler. No, I'm just kidding.
Tyler's
No,
packing.
I will take that line. A special fuck you to Tyler. We love you, but fuck you.
No, but
We love
congratulations to Tyler, who has now purchased a home and is currently moving in there.
He said he's gonna be bougie, y'all. He's in a
bougie.
bougie
Oh.
apartment.
He owns an apartment in New York City, so he's got that money, except for, I don't know if he does anymore because he just bought an apartment in New York City.
Maybe he can buy some different
it's
tank
time
tops.
for Tyler to return to poverty because
Yeah.
all the money.
Tank tops, Tyler.
He
gone.
did ask me for a pizza earlier. That's not true. I'm lying now.
I had tacos earlier, so I got to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
Okay.
Speaking of poop, deuces,
We'll
y'all.
Deuces. Deuce is.
You're still recording.
We're still music's still playing. What are you still doing here? This ain't no Marvel.
I literally put in the private chat. Don't forget to press stop recording after the
There ain't
credits.
nothing happening. This ain't Marvel. What you want? Nothing. Nothing
I
happening
literally,
here.
I literally put it in the credits.